If you're in Seattle, and you need to buy or sell a home, we'll be right there for you. Because we're the realtors that you can trust. So go to ronanddonsitdown.com.
You're listening to The Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
If you've been looking for more space, both inside and out, this estate in Covington is for you. That's right, it's the Ron and Don Home of the Week.
All right, that's our announcer, Matt off the mic, who lately has been on the mic a lot.
He has been.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for that. We have a home that's coming on as we head into the spring here. It's our Home of the Week. This particular house came to us from, it's Jamie and Scott. Jamie and Scott called us a couple years ago. They had a property that they were trying to sell out in Leavenworth, and they had a different realtor that they were using, and they said, we've been trying to sell this for months. We're having a hard time selling the property. We're thinking about moving on and maybe using you guys as realtors. And what we found out is this realtor just kind of needed to be coached up. So we said, you know what, let's hang on to your realtor. We'll coach you up. We gave them some information. They coached up the realtor. They ended up selling the condo in Leavenworth. And we didn't charge them anything for that. We felt the connection, and they were Ron and Don listeners. And then fast forward, Jamie works with someone named Kim, and Kim's mom had passed away. And Kim's had lived all over the world. Kim's mom had lived all over the world because her husband was in the Navy. In fact, I believe her mom was in the Navy too. So when you walked in the house, it was a time capsule of like the 10 different places around the world that they lived.
Some very cool stuff in there.
Really cool stuff. And there were real China dolls in there and a real China room. And there's all kinds of really cool pianos, and is out on the Olympic Peninsula. So, and then there's also a foundation house, a foundation issue in this house that had been fixed, but we had to get an engineer out, and then we had to reimagine this house. The house needed some work. It had deferred maintenance. I think when Mom passed away, they'd been working on a deck in the backyard, and then they stopped working on it. So we're like, hey, let's get in there. So we sold that house last summer, and then Jamie and Scott said, hey, we got some great news, and we have some sad news. The sad news is all our kids have moved out, and the great news is we're going to downsize, and we bought another home over by a lake. So I remember going to see them, and the first time I walked in the foyer and I saw all their kids, and they have a blended family, right? Jamie had children, Scott had children, one of their spouses had passed away, so they came together. A lot of times when you see blended families, it's not good. Especially with kids, they don't like each other. It doesn't go well. It doesn't turn out to be the Brady Bunch. Come to find out, when you looked at their kids and you see all the other pictures throughout the house, these kids really not only liked each other, but loved each other. And this was a really cool family affair. And in fact, I saw some of the pictures when they get together during the holidays, and they said, hey, we want to spend one more holiday in the house. And then we both retired. She worked at a major corporation here. He worked as a school principal. And they said, we'd like you guys to come in and help us sell this house. When you go in the house, it's immense. It is 6 beds, 3.5 baths. This is down in Covington. The lot is over 9,000 square feet. The house itself is over 5,200 square feet, again, with 6 bedrooms, and we're talking spacious bedrooms. And then what's really cool is when you walk in the primary suite, that primary suite in there is probably bigger than most starter homes that you'll see in West Seattle. So Ron, you've been out to the house. You were out there the other day. There's some homes that have POW. We call it POW. We were looking at the pictures. We were getting ready to bring this house to market. When you step out on the back porch, this house goes POW. Why is it a POW house?
Yeah, the way it's situated, you have your backyard area, and there's some hardscaping and stuff, but it borders some land where there's a creek that went down there. The creek has been designated by the state as having something to do with a salmon at some time in history, and so they're not able to develop around this creek. So what that means now is you have this huge visual field where you're seeing green, you're seeing trees, and then right behind that, Mount Rainier pops out. And so when it's not cloudy, boom, you're seeing Mount Rainier off the back of the house. And the thing that I loved about it, many times when you get a house that is 6 bedrooms, 5 or 6 bedrooms, they're not very private. Like they sort of shoehorn them in where you might have a hallway that terminates with 4 doors off the end of the hallway. And it's kind of like, you hear everything across the hall. You hear through the walls. It's like shoving everybody at the end of a hallway. The way that this house is designed and laid out is there's lots of separation and privacy. So if you had a multi-generational situation, there's a lower level where you have a full bathroom, a big great room, bedrooms down there where you could really be separated for a while, or if you wanted to set up a workspace or something downstairs. And then even when you're upstairs, in where there's like multiple bedrooms in addition to the primary suite, you're not crammed in with each other. It has this sort of spiral staircase kind of grand entry, and the way the architects designed it, it's very elegant space to where you don't walk out of your door and boom, you're right facing another door. Everything is coming off tangentially off of this spiral staircase in the middle. And it also, what that affords is when you get into the main living area with the kitchen, dining room, and all of those spaces, there's a double height ceiling space for the main living area. You got a fireplace, you have views of Mount Rainier, you can flow right off into the deck, flow into the kitchen, and it has this volume of space that just feels really, it's big and spacious, but it feels cozy at the same time.
Yeah, the downstairs, I really see like a play space, or you could put offices down there. It's immense. And I think they had maybe pool tables or ping pong tables. And there's also a bedroom down there and a bathroom down there. That's usually the oldest kid, the Greg Brady, when you get old enough and you don't want to live with your brothers and sisters anymore. That's the one that usually goes down to that bedroom. And it has a nice deck. And then you go up to the second floor. That's the floor that you walk in on. And I love the fact that you have this great room with a fireplace, all these views right out to Mount Rainier. That's connected to kitchen. And then when you go upstairs, it has all the bedrooms that you talk about as well.
Is if you want to live in Covington, a lot of people do, but you don't. The other houses down there are these new developments where it's almost zero lot line. You could reach out your window and touch the house next door. That is not this house. So if you want that proximity to Highway 18, the proximity to get into Covington, Issaquah, even it wouldn't be that long of a drive, even if you want to get up to Redmond. If you're wanting to then pop down into Auburn and do those sort of drives, if you're familiar with that area, and I am because I lived in Auburn and I lived in Maple Valley, there's a lot of people that you want extra space, you want that breathing room, but you don't want that cookie cutter house where you're sharing a driveway and you're literally 5 feet separates you from the neighbor. So this place has some breathing room. Quite frankly, it's the nicest house on the block.
Oh yeah.
And so and it feels that way. It's a very special house. Just architecturally, layout wise, they've done a lot of refreshing before we brought it to market. I think someone's going to fall in love with this place.
Yeah, and brand new carpet, brand new paint throughout. Also,
brand new light bulbs from Scott. Got on a ladder himself.
Yeah,
risked life and limb to change out the chandelier.
He did. Brand new furnace, and when you walk in there, it's turnkey. It's not deferred in any way. The house is about 20 years old. But it seems like it's brand new, and like you talked about, it's on a lot that's almost 10,000 square feet, and then with the view that you have out the back, there's no homes there, so that's an unobstructed view toward Rainier that you'll have for your rest of your life, and it's very close to Highway 18, and you're just minutes from stores, shopping, coffee shops. They like Chipotle; they go there quite a bit. So the bottom line is this. If this house, and we're working on some homes on the east side right now, specifically some homes in Kirkland. If this house is in Kirkland, this is a $3 million house in Kirkland. It's in Covington. It's in a bedroom community. It has a lot of great privacy. And we are on right now. Check out this price. We are on right now at $1,199. So just under $1.2 million. I would run toward this house. It's a unicorn. There is nothing like it in Covington. There's nothing like this house in Maple Valley. There's nothing like it at this price point. We couldn't find anything, right?
I looked high and low and could not. This is a very unique opportunity. Doesn't come along very often, and bring your family and step right into it.
So if people want to see it, how can they see our home of the week in Covington?
We're going to have some videos available, and we're going to have some open houses. You can contact me if you're unrepresented and you want to take a look at it. Ron@ronanddon.com. We'll get you in there and take a look.
Yeah, and I'm Don at ronanddon.com. I think this thing's going to go pretty fast, you guys. So you can also look it up on the MLS. What's the MLS number? Do we have it here?
Yeah, that's right under the address.
The MLS number, Don, is 246-5269.
Thanks, Matt. On the
Sounds like Matt Pardo.
All right, Matt, take us out.
That concludes this episode of the Ron and Don Home of the Week.
Yeah, thank you. If you need us, where do you go?
He just concluded the episode.
Oh, it's concluded.
And then you talked after the conclusion.
Sorry,
We're
that's
concluded.
it.
Concluded.
We don't say buyer's
No.
playbook, seller's playbook.
Concluded.
Our other show, you
Home
can
of the
see
Week
on
concluded.
Monday.
It's
Don't forget the real estate.
it's
Just
con-
Home of the
concluded.
Week. Done. That's it.
Concluded.
Should we
That's
go
what
get
concluded means. I'm going to get an empanada.
I
It's
want to get a
concluded.
giddy up burger, but I got to go down to Covington and hang a sign in front of our Home of the Week.
Concluded.
Over. It's done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, it's G-Force O'Neill. Thanks for listening to my dad and his boyhood friend, Mr. Ron.